everybody, it's Melissa from ASI's media team. I am so excited that you're joining me again for another episode of I Love ASI, and I am joined by Taylor Borst, who has recently been promoted to the Director of Marketing, Events, and Public Relations at American Solutions for Business. Yay, Taylor!
Hey, Melissa, thanks for having me on. I do love ASI and I love you. This is
You're
perfect.
so sweet. Right back at you, girl. I'm so excited that you're here. So let's get into our questions. Sound good?
Sure, let's do it.
All right. So you've created so much positive impact at your company. What is it about promo that just lights you up?
Oh my gosh. How long do you have to record this? Can we go for the full hour? No, I absolutely love promo. I think honestly, the thing that really does it is the people in promo are incredible. Like completely a different breed of marketers and creative minds. I mean, so creative and so passionate, but when they need to, they can be incredibly resilient. And I keep saying they, like we are resilient. But when I think about specifically promo people who are really, we're here to serve, it comes down to our distributor salespeople who are in the field. And I kind of, I'm here to support them and to provide the resources and to help guide them to make those sales and to impact their end user customers. And then, I'm also here to support the other side of the business, which would be our suppliers and our service providers who are also here to support, but really creating that relationship. And, I think that, in this industry, you're either born into it or you fall into it by accident. And I certainly fell into it by accident. I didn't really know that this was this massive of an industry, but I think that I every single day I end up falling in love with the product and the messaging and the storytelling that you can do through those mediums. So, I went to school for more of that, like writing kind of communications, but then I found that, products can come to life when you kind of put all of those elements together. And so, every single day we look for the ways that we can help at every single level of that business.
That's awesome. And honestly, I feel like, you are just a natural fit for this industry. And that being said, I feel like you're always thinking of new ways to serve, like American Business Solutions clients. So that being said, you're thinking of new resources for sales or for marketing. Are there any in particular that your favorites?
Yes, well, I mean, I'm probably going to be unfair because some of the favorites are central to our team, but we do really bring in a lot of other departments and team members who can help us when it comes to, specifically technology needs, especially this last year. We've really become incredibly grateful for all of the IT professionals in our lives. But different departments too, like our strategic operations, our business solutions, our warehousing team, even when we come up with kitting projects or we need things to be shipped, like our lives have changed so completely. And we've found that through this, it's the partnerships that we've created help us execute what we need to do. So a couple right off the top here, I know that a lot of different distributorships have their own private groups, but I absolutely love our ASB vendor connection group. This is a private community and it's really dedicated for sourcing help, for marketing tools, education, but the bottom line is all about building relationships. So we focus on creating video content and photo content to help kind of push ideas and announcements and all of the things that people need to know kind of on a day-to-day, in addition to all of the things that we handle from a corporate communication standpoint. And it's kind of crazy to think about, but we actually established that group over 2 years ago.
Wow.
And over this last year, it's been an incredible asset for everything that we do, because we really have understood that staying connected virtually is so important. We also have another initiative. It's called our Going Social initiative, and this has been a big partnership between our technology team for this, but it kind of has 3 pillars. So the first is that we have established an exclusive partnership with Social HP. It is a scheduling tool, and we provide all of the assets and resources to our salespeople so that they can schedule out their social media strategy, maybe for the week or the month or however long that they want to go out in advance. We are also developing a brand new closed Facebook group that's specifically dedicated to social strategies and education. So we're starting to kind of open that group up a little bit after we've developed that and set some expectations. And then the third piece of that is we are doing what's called the social reviews. And that's with my boss, Dana Zazo, and I, we schedule 1 hour consultative meetings with salespeople who want to opt in for that service. I still feel weird calling it like a service, but I don't know what else to call it. So in that process, somebody would be able to sign up for that, take a survey, explain what their social media goals are, the platforms, who's the audience, what's their background, that sort of thing. And then Dana and I have a pre-meeting where we review together, and then on that one-on-one time with our salesperson, we kind of walk through, you know, what are some things that you're doing really well? What are some things that you might want to add to the strategy? And then work through some of the questions that they might have had in developing their social media strategy, because everybody is so, you know, personalized. So it can't just be one size fits all when it comes to social media. So we have to make sure that we adapt that consultative approach to their individual style and their individual goals, because everybody's different. And then, you know, in addition to all of that too, we also have a lot of different internal platforms for our salespeople to access resources. So, you know, we have it's called ACE's Elite or Elite Central, and that's a proprietary platform that our VP of Technology has developed. We also have, you know, our own proprietary e-commerce platform and employee portal, a marketing hub, and then one last project that I really just love so much, it's near and dear to my heart because I handle the merchandising of it, is a subscription box program targeted to our end user customers. So we're in year 3 of that, but it's almost like we were able to look at a crystal ball that, you know, 3 years ago and see the pandemic coming. So a lot of things going on. I know that I probably missed a lot, but yeah, those are some things that get us really excited.
I mean, honestly, and especially going back to social media, and, you know, in a second, we'll talk a little bit more personally about your own. I think that is so incredibly smart, because I think, like you said, you guys have realized that social media is important, but really for an individual's success, it's finding their voice. So the fact that you guys will be providing not only just resources for them to consume, but it sounds like some individual coaching, you know, and some consultation that's really going to be important for them as they start out, or maybe they just want some, you know, feedback on what they should improve currently with what they're doing. I mean, I can't say how like invaluable that's going to be for them. So I'm super hyped to see that grow. So I'm super excited for you. Good job. So yeah, so I wanted to go a little bit more into your own personal social media strategy. So from an outsider perspective, it seems like storytelling has been something that is really essential to how you craft like your narrative. It's also very engaging, and I feel like also relationship building as well. So why do you think that those are some things that are important for people to emulate on social? Can you provide any insight?
Sure. So I think to start, you know, establishing that the beauty of social media is that it's really a reflection of who you are. So by definition, you know, everybody is going to have that different style or approach, and that's a good thing. You know, that's why we like social media. That's why we use it. And you know, I think that as long as you can establish what works for you, you can kind of start to look at it from a little bit more of a strategic standpoint too, not to over curate anything, but to always just be mindful of, you know, what's your intention? You know, before you post something, what is the intention? What is the goal of this piece of content or this piece of work that I'm about to share with the world? So, you know, it can kind of fall into a few different categories. So, you know, one can be, is it news or an update? Am I providing brand new information for for somebody that they need to know about me or about my organization or what I provide? The second might be educational. So how I do something behind the scenes, or, you know, maybe it's sharing the features of a product and why you want to, you know, sell that product or how you can approach it. So, you know, taking that educational standpoint and providing that value to your audience. One might be to motivate action. You might want people to take direct action because you're posting something, sign up for my event, or, comment below with your ideas, all things that evoke action. And then, kind of a fourth bucket to that would be, am I trying to bring joy? And so, I think that sometimes people overlook that too. And I would say that a lot of content ends up falling into that bucket without you even realizing too. Yeah. So, as long as you are, either making people laugh or making people happy, or just, seeing your face, we're so disconnected right now too, that anything in your content, if it has your face in it, it helps to build that relationship, whether you're realizing that or not. I think that we're so used to pre-pandemic being around a lot of different people. We're missing a lot of that. And so infusing that into your social media will help to build those relationships without really even realizing it over time. And then with all of that said, I think that it's really important to remember that you are the product.
Yeah.
And it might seem a little odd to think of yourself as a product, but that's what you are on social media. Even though you are a person, yes, I think that it helps to kind of grasp what you're trying to go for here. So if you're using social media to build your personal or your professional brand, you need to give your audience deliverables to let them into part of your life little by little. So that's kind of the value that you're giving as a product. And so, sales is all about building trust, right? Mm-hmm. And so to do that, a lot of it's going to take vulnerability. And being vulnerable isn't just about being emotional or, I think that sometimes people think of vulnerability in that, that weaker or just like sappier side of things. And that's not really what I mean when I say vulnerable. It's letting them into parts of your life that you might not think about it, I just think about where I've filmed video content. I'll take people to different spots in my house, not all in one video, but sometimes I might film in my kitchen, or sometimes I might film outside in my backyard, or, I might go to different places. But what it's doing subliminally too is letting somebody into my home to know what my rooms look like, what my husband looks like, because sometimes he's in some videos, what my dog looks like, what her name is, weird things that she's done, or foods that I hate, or things that I'm afraid of. Like, it's things that you don't hit everybody with all at once, because that's going to freak people out, but it's just dropping little pieces of yourself for your audience to help them put in the puzzles of who you are as a person. And you can just kind of slowly do that over time for your audience and build that community piece by piece.
I'm really glad that you said that, because I think that that's something that's really missing in the education on social in this industry. Is like, it doesn't have to all be at once. It really can just be, slowly integrating parts of your life that you're comfortable sharing, that, obviously, like people say, it's curated, but I think, like you said, that vulnerability piece is important, because people want to know who you are. And I think if you're somebody who's really trying to distinguish yourself, you don't want to go to a feed and feel like you could go to maybe a competitor and see the same exact thing. You know what I mean? Like, people want what you have to offer. So I really love your philosophy that it's personalized, that it plays on strengths, and then it allows like that, I think, golden era of social media to kind of resurge, which is, it's social. It doesn't always have to be about products. It doesn't have to always be a sales pitch. Hopefully it's never a sales flyer, but it's a little fun. It's a little tongue in cheek, it's personal. It's like maybe a side of yourself that you would see if you were at like a networking event, or if you just met somebody hanging out at a bar, so I really like that. So I know that you had gone over earlier some of the developments that are upcoming at your company, but is there anything else that you think is really important that you want to share for our audience?
Yes, so a few things. So
Okay.
one, we have our first in-person event coming up in August. It's in Park City. I am so excited. We haven't had an in-person event in
That's
a
awesome.
year and a half or a year. I don't even, time is not a thing anymore. I don't know
It's
how to
one long
calculate it.
day.
So I'm very excited for that. And we have a lot of really wonderful suppliers and amazing salespeople who are qualifying to go to that. So I'm just looking forward to that for sure. We do have an upcoming, it's not yet launched, but it's a proprietary spec program to help kind of facilitate that program. So more to come. We'll kind of share a little bit more as that's released. But then really overall, I think that the pandemic has given us the gift of comfort with change.
Yeah.
And we're in this time where, especially within our industry, and I really feel it within American too, it's this air of open-mindedness and resiliency. And it's coming out of this, and we're excited to just see, where can we add more value? How can we take things to the next level without fearing the change? So
Yeah.
I think we're in a really good spot.
I'm so excited. It sounds like there's so many
Mhm.
cool things that are upcoming this year, and I'm excited to get updated and see the development. So, thank you so much for sharing more about yourself, your philosophy on social, and some updates with your company. So, I'm going to ask the last question, which is why you love ASI. So,
Oh my goodness. Oh,
well,
what an easy question, Melissa.
thank you.
So ASI has been an incredible resource for us. I mean, not only in the last year, but in the last, I don't know, however many decades we've been connected between ASB and ASI, there is just a long history of our two organizations who, it's certainly grown over time and gotten stronger, but really the breakdown of so many things that we get from ASI, which it kind of starts with the tools and the technology. I mean, ESP, we have hundreds of users under the American umbrella who use ESP, but then also the tools that are included on your website. In addition to that, the news that you guys bring too. I mean, you're so connected to everything in the industry, and that kind of goes down to the education and event side of ASI. And then, we have just great contacts and support from our ASI team members. So our corporate contact is Mike DiTaviano, and we love him. He's amazing. He's very well known within American, but I know that, throughout the years, we've had just so many wonderful support key contacts. And really, at the end of the day, I mean, ASI is a pillar in our industry. It's kind of, you guys are so central to everything that we do and everything that we are. And so the more that we can partner together, I think that the more successful we're all going to be.
Oh, that's such thank you so much for all the compliments. We appreciate you sharing your feedback and also your time. Keep doing great things, Taylor. And also congratulations again on the promotion. Very much deserved. I have super high hopes for you. You're going to be doing great things in our industry for a really long time. So thank you.
Melissa.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And I'll catch you next time.